Welcome to this video. So today we're gonna chase our subject more in a precise way in the matter of the martial aspect and less the combat aspect of the art. So if you watched the video yesterday the video was about more like the combat stance. So really like the basic of positioning your legs in combat. Today we're gonna see more the subject about the reason why there's not only combat aspect in martial arts. So the first stance is, we call it in Japanese Zenkutsu Dachi. So Zenkutsu Dachi. So you pronounce it like this, and it's like the walking stance. So first you put your leg in front, you make your leg at the back the flatter that you can. So with a kimono it will be like that, but I don't get a kimono because it don't fit me anymore. You do a 45-degree angle from the back of your foot. So you face forward, you bend your knee in the front, and you do like a 66% in front balance, and you turn your hips. So by doing that, you're developing all your hips muscle by doing that sense. It's really good to angle. And the concept of doing that position was like to simulate a walk while developing the muscle that you need to thrust yourself forward. So you remember, like in the combat stance, you're trying to push yourself. Now you're trying to train yourself to drag forward your position. So trying to move forward or switch position, but you're really working with your hips there. So by doing that, you can place yourself in the blocking stance, but at first you'll need to work the position if you want to do any movement that you want. And it's the most common one used, and from what I've heard, it's used in Taekwondo too. So it's a really good position to train your hips and your muscle to drag yourself in front. Alright, so like that. And then if you want to switch side, you push behind, you switch. You go with the hips. Switch. So yeah, so it's really to work your hips and work your balance, and that the only, like I said in the last video, you're going inside. You get like in this small stance, and you don't want to like stand up and go down. You're trying to always stay at the same height. You see? I'm trying to stay at the same height. Alright, so that's the first position. So now that you see the first position, that is more like an offensive position, because if you can see in the first one, your balance in front, so you're ready to punch, you're ready to block and punch, go like you're going forward to your adversary. So your opponent is facing you and you're going forward to it. If you got the Zenkutsu position, it's really like an offensive position. Now the second one, we go with Kekutsu Dashi. So this one is more like they call it the authentic position, the one that we describe more with karate, and it's like more a defensive position, because karate, they talk about it like the martial art for defending yourself. It's normal that they show you the defensive stand. So they create this position really to get yourself more in the defensive, so more in the back of yourself. So you're putting a lot more weight over here, but you're not relieving the weight over here because you want to bend your knee a little bit, just so if somebody kick it, it won't invert your knee, like break it. So it's really important that you bend your knee and don't put like your leg like that, because like that's a weakness. So the importance of a position is you don't have weakness. And then you can do like lateral hit, or even they talk about it, it's like doing a kick, defensive kick, you know? So I'm getting in the back and kicking someone. The other way. The other one, like you can walk towards, it's more like a sidewalk. So if you could imagine, I was hitting this guy and then I was pushing him and attacking another one. So it's really a defensive position. So like that, and then I would go forward this way. So like this. So it's really like a defensive position. It's really good for your hip muscles too, but it's good to balance yourself on one leg and the other. It's really good to work those leg muscles, and if you do them for a long time, you realize that it's really a good exercise to train yourself to be more stable, be more balanced, and standing on one leg is more easy. So like all others position, you need to stay at the same height while you do it. So you bend your knee, you align your 2 foot together, and then you're putting more weight on the back so you can be ready to block and be able to defend yourself. You're putting more distance towards the enemy because it could be forward, like going towards you. I'm not telling you to use those techniques in combat, but to practice, like it's really good to train that way, to practice, because once you're gonna be in the combat, you're gonna have more strong legs to like defend yourself, and you're gonna be more, you'll take more in the way to, if you're defending yourself, you're gonna put your body more in the back, and then if you're facing an adversary, you're gonna be like more in the front. You're gonna rush him a little bit more. So it's just like teaching you positioning of your legs, how to position your body towards your opponent. Okay, so now we know the defensive, and now you know the offensive. Okay, so we're down to the last one. So we've learned the offensive, the defensive. Now we're gonna learn a one that's more different, but it's like the hardest to do, but the more efficient to use, like to stabilize yourself and be like, it's more a side one. So we call it kibadashi in Japanese, but in English we'll call it like the horse stance or the straddle stance. So this one goes like more wide than your shoulders. So it's wider than your shoulders. And then you bend like you're doing a squat. Push your knees like in an exterior way, and then so they say this position is hard to do. You need to keep yourself straight, and then they say the more you sink, the more stable you'll get, but the more you get like in an upward position, the more speed you'll get. So stability work is going downward and get yourself deeper, and then to work as movement speed, you need to get yourself a little bit more upward on it. So this position at the base of it is to work your kicks. So kicks on the side. For the front stability, it's the worst thing to use. So you you don't do like training in front. You're really like doing training on the side. So you're training like your stability, really like your all your leg muscle. You if you do that, you'll feel pain doing this position. It's really hard to keep on it, but it's really good to practice your balance and your side resistance. If somebody try to push you this way, go deeper. It won't be able to push you. They'll slip you on the ground and you'll just stay in that position. They won't make you lose your balance. So that's the concept of this position. So if you do that, like just try to do it like 5 minutes. Stay 5 minutes in this position. If you can do that, you're mostly trained enough to do really powerful kicks. So those are the 3 positions that you need to learn to train yourself to do movement like kicks, punches, elbow hit, whatever technique you need to use. If you can do those 3 positions by training yourself to do them, well, you're gonna arrive in combat. You'll be a lot more stable on your leg and will position yourself a lot more at ease to confront your opponent. So one advice I could give you, your torso needs to always be straight. So if you can train yourself to put your shoulder more in the back, pump your chest, not with your lung but really with your muscle, and then keep your neck straight. Do those positions in those way. You need to stay straight, always straight. So yeah, that's it for today. Have a nice one.